Hanji, welcome back to my channel. So, as we have started the subject approaches to literary criticism 2 of M.A English second semester. So, in the yesterday video, we have discussed about the chapter The Beginning, and in today video, I am going to share my handwritten notes of the chapter Readers and Reading, that is written by Andrew Bennett and Nicholas Royle. So, first of all, it is very important to mention about authors. So same as we have read yesterday, we have to mention in this chapter also. Okay. So our topic is readers and reading. So in this chapter, ये चैप्टर हमें बेसिकली रीडर के बारे में बताता है, द इम्पॉर्टेंस ऑफ रीडर्स, दैट एक रीडर का रिस्पॉन्स कितना इम्पॉर्टेंट है. This essay provides an excellent and wide-ranging introduction to the field of reading theory. So, in this chapter, we will read about various reading theories जो एक रीडर को इम्पॉर्टेंट मानती है, because mostly in old theories, mostly the people are talking about the authors only, about the time period of the author, about the books written by the author, सब कुछ ऑथर के बारे में स्टडी करती है. बट in this chapter we will only read about the importance of reader and reading. Okay, so it offers comprehensive coverage of all the important areas and look beyond classic reader response criticism. Most literary criticism focus on literary producers and their products. So here the producer is author and the product is the books written by that author. Okay, so keep this in mind. Producer is author and the product is the books he write. But an important part of such work considered the end user, the reader. It asks such question as how far can author condition the response of the reader and how much does the reader create the meaning of text. So simply किसी बुक की वैल्यू तब है जब उसे कोई पढ़ेगा, अदरवाइज इट हैव नो वैल्यू. बुक को मीनिंग सिर्फ रीडर ही प्रोवाइड करते हैं. Author gives some example of different poems. So one of the poem he had discussed is P.B. Shelley's poem Ozymandias. It is famous sonnet poems of P.B. Shelley. Okay, so we have to keep this poem in our mind and have to mention this in examination to make our answers scoreable. Okay, so this sonnet is from 1870, Shelley's most famous and most anthologized poem. The poem concerns a series of framed act of reading. So frame act of reading means ये poem reading के बारे में बहुत कुछ बताती है. There are many references regarding reading in this poem. So he have mentioned about this poem in this chapter, readers and reading. Okay. So the sculptor read the face of the king. So here sculptor is मूर्तिकार, जो मूर्तियाँ बनाते हैं. The traveler read the inscription and the narrative eye listen to the tale and finally we read the poem. One of the things that we might do with this poem is to think about these acts of reading. The poem can be thought about as what Paul the man calls an allegory of reading. Same here, it means that it tells about readers and reading, importance of reader and reading. It is not only a poem which can be read, but it is also a poem about reading. Ozymandias then open up a series of questions concerning readers and reading. How we can validate any reading, how we can know whether it is true or faithful. Other question in the poem is, who is the traveler who read the inscription, for example, and who is the eye who listen to or reads the story? Is the sculpture mocking of the king's face a kind of reading? Is it in the king's power to command his reader to despair or to make them obey? Is the traveler reading of the inscription different from how the inscription might have been read while the king was alive? So the purpose is that reading kitne important hai. Everything here mentions about reading. Everything is about readers and reading importance. So next is reader response theory. So it is associated with the post-structuralism. It focuses on reader. What is reader's response after reading? That जब किसी रीडर ने कोई बुक पढ़ी, उसका रिस्पॉन्स उसने क्या दिया, उसके रिव्यूज़, उसके उसके नेगेटिव पॉइंट, पॉजिटिव पॉइंट. सो ऑल इट इज़ अबाउट रीडिंग. So this theory develops in 1960s and 1970s in USA and Germany. Reader is considered as an active agent of literature. It demands that reading should be considered as a performing art. So basically he wants to convey us message that reading is art and reader is very important part of literature. The literature is nothing about the reader. If author will write something and nobody read it, then it has no value. Okay, so to make any writing valuable, reading is very must. Reading is performing art. Reader response theory states that every reader performs this art according to himself. This theory criticized Russian formalism and new criticism because they ignore reader's role. They only talk about the author, not about the readers and reading. So the text has no meaning unless it has not read by the reader. So hope you have read. Hope this what I have made you read is understand. You have understand it. Otherwise, please forgive me if I had say anything wrong. Okay, please forgive me. Thanks.